chairman has already done that with two proverbs of Azerbaijan that I think cast a very interesting angle to today's subject. One is a proverb in Azerbaijan that says, "Until the lions have their historians, tales of the hunt shall always glorify the hunter." And the second one says, "It's not shameful not to know. What is shameful is not to ask." This is not from the West. This is not from Europe. These are Azerbaijan proverbs. And I think they very well exemplify what is the topic of today, that is diversity of opinions, curiosity, the expression of one's feelings, and dialogue. So I'm very happy to be here today to celebrate this World Day. Thank you very much for the organizers to bring us together today. And it's also an important day for us because, as you know, we have today arriving to Baku later this afternoon, European Commissioner Füle, who wants me to bring you his best wishes. He couldn't be here this morning, because he's flying now. And you know how much in the wide agenda he's coming here for, to have discussions with authorities and with all layers of society in Azerbaijan, how much Commissioner Füle, the importance he attaches to the freedom of media and freedom of expression. So his best wishes. Well, needless to say, I have said that so many times here over the last 4 years I've been here, that in Europe we very much believe that freedom of expression and independent media are, the core values of a free society. Our road to these values has been bumpy. It's not an easy one. It has cost thousands of lives and many more enormous sacrifices. Nevertheless, the ideas of freedoms have always been a beacon of light, even in the darkest hours of European history. Based on this history and these traditions, the European Union pays considerable attention to the development of freedom of expression and independent media. One can even say that it's one of the pillars, one of the integral parts of Europe. The European Union is committed to respect freedom, pluralism of the media, as well as the right to information, the freedom of expression, etc. This is enshrined in our legal setup, in the Charter of Fundamental Rights, in the European Convention for the Protection of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. But beyond the legal setup, what is important is to have a judiciary system that ensures that these laws are actually effectively and independently applied. Besides this corpus of legal instruments, what I have just mentioned means that freedom of expression and media freedom are important in a much wider sense, and that is to build democracy in any society, as well as making governments accountable. The European Union is built on a set of values and freedoms, and this freedom of expression is at the heart of it. As I have the American ambassador next to me, I would like to quote a famous lawyer from early last century, that was Benjamin Cardozo. And he said, freedom of expression is the matrix, the indispensable condition of nearly every other freedom. Talking about the United States, the undisputed superpower of this world, it is also one of the undisputed superpowers of freedom. So for countries in the world that have ambitions politically and would like to grow and would like to have more space on the world chessboard, maybe there's something to think about. That freedom not only brings the positive aspects of it, but it also brings power. We believe that independent, critical, and professional working media are still the major pillars of expression in our modern world, based on the global integration of the very fast developing technologies. It must be a quality, investigative journalism, and this will define the future of the European political culture, the foundation of European democracy, and this should define how other countries, notably Azerbaijan, could develop. We promote these values not only here, but in all countries in the world and in our own countries. We have our own shortcomings. in Europe. This is work in progress. Freedoms, media freedom, freedom of expression are ideas that always need to be worked on. But of course, there must be a political will, there must be a direction. We must see where the country is going. In our view, the freedom of expression means not only to tell people sometimes what they want to hear, but also what they don't like or what they don't want to hear, but in a positive spirit. Giving critical voices their share in the public debate is, in our eyes, a sign of strength, of tolerance, and of maturity of a society. And this is exactly what we want all over the world, and notably in the country where we are accredited. A stable democracy that is built on trust and dialogue with the citizens. I can tell you, we have freedom of expression in Europe. It's not always good. It's not always nice to be criticized. We as European Union are criticized every day, by everyone, in Europe and elsewhere. We are criticized by our own citizens, we are criticized by our own institutions. But this is work. This is the reality. And we believe that when you put on balance the benefit, the cost-benefit analysis of the unpleasant aspect of it, and the benefits you take from it, the balance is largely positive. Public authorities need to be able to dialogue, to confront ideas, to hear divergent ideas. And in spite of this unpleasantness of being criticized, we believe that there is no place for relative values as we talk about freedoms. We do not believe in cultural relativism. We do not believe in religion, relativism, in interpreting or implementing fundamental freedoms. We believe these are universal values enshrined in the UN Charter, to which most of the states of this planet are a member to. We believe by experience, not out of dogma, not out of philosophy, but by experience, that societies based on freedom and liberties also have more prospects for well-being and prosperity than others. A strong media sector with strong and professional journalists guarantees a better understanding of diversity, provides an environment for pluralism due to broadcasting of minority voices, and more importantly, if I can repeat, made governments more accountable. This is why we believe that the intimidation of journalists, the restriction of access to information, the criminalization of defamation, and other elements not only harm and postpone democratic development of the country, but do not bring this country forward. In Azerbaijan, we're very happy to hear that presidential administration seems to be willing to decriminalize defamation. We have heard some statements on this. We consider that this would be a very strong step ahead. But the verbal statements are based on the relevant provision of the National Action Plan adopted by Azerbaijan itself. However, so far, the deadline for the improvement of legislation that would decriminalize defamation has already passed, and we see no significant progress achieved. We hope that the work in this direction will be finalized in accordance with Azerbaijan's own action plan. We are all aware of the complex nature of this. Decriminalization of defamation needs many other ingredients, so this is something that we believe is needed. In addition, I will support what has been said before. It is my moral duty to remind the names of many, but I would like to pinpoint Elmar Husseinov and Rafik Taghi, two journalists who have died for their beliefs and their freedom of expression. And one having died in 2005, that's a long time ago. I think it's time for a final investigation to come to an end. We believe that impunity is the worst enemy of freedom. The freedom to express oneself, to have opinions and share them with them is particularly important in this year in Azerbaijan, ahead of not only the presidential elections, but also the two next elections, next year and in 2019. I will terminate in saying that I would like to reiterate also that the European Union is here with a constructive, positive, and supporting agenda with Azerbaijan. That we are here to assist democratic reforms in general, but also to bring forward freedoms of expression and of the media. We have many different projects here in Azerbaijan that we finance. I won't mention them, you know them, notably one of the organizers here. And we intend to continue and to increase our support to civil society, to NGOs that demand media freedom and all the freedoms in general. So this support will be increased as it has already increased tenfold over the last 2 years. Last but not least, I would like also to remind that freedoms are rights, but they also come with obligations and responsibilities. Freedom of expression cannot be considered as a free ticket to say and to publish everything and anything. Good journalism comes with a certain obligation to respect professional ethics and values, and I entirely share and support what the American ambassador has said. I believe personally that better than a 180-degree criticism, it is better to have a 360-degree constructive criticism coming forward with proposals, ideas, and objectivity. Journalism is all politics. Since I started my remark with quotes from Azerbaijan and then from the US, let me finish with a quote from the EU, from a prominent European politician who said, I regard the freedom of expression as the primary right without which one cannot have a proper functioning democracy. So thank you again for the organizers for having organized this, and I must say I would have been extremely delighted to have a more encompassing dialogue with public authorities today if there had been a wider representation, but I thank those of you who represent public authorities and who are here today.